The Scoobster. He loves when I do this. He loves just being like scratched right on the front. Right there. I'll let you guys look at Scooby until I start doing stuff. I never really have a plan for these live streams. I should probably think of this is a very unflattering angle, but you know what? Scooby should be on camera, so that's how I'm gonna hold the camera. I'm like planning a trip with some of my friends, and I wish they gave me a little bit more input on what they want to do, because I feel like I've planned the entire thing without much input. That's okay. Near Scooby. But yeah, I did another short live stream later, and then I realized I normally live stream super late at night, so I was like, okay, I'll live stream again in a few hours. And just kind of, why are you sitting like that? Look at him. But I was like, yeah, I'll live stream in a few hours and then do a few more updates for people who arrive there. So we're just giving it a minute. I will actually make a Q&A with this horrible angle for my face so that people can ask the questions and have them pop up. But until then, Scooby. He's such a good dog. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk about, like, yeah, I've been kind of gone. I'm like, look, I have my YouTube channel pulled up on my computer, and like, first off, some of these dates I think are wrong, because this says I posted Friendsgiving 2 months ago, and that was definitely way more than 2 months ago. It's probably just because it's at the end of a month. And then, I mean, I've been pretty good about posting shorts and whatnot. I mean, obviously I'm doing the Foodie Friday, and I feel like I've been pretty good at keeping up with that. But, like, I don't know. Before today, I hadn't live streamed in months. Like, literally, it looks like, yeah, it was exam time when I last live streamed, which was December, like really early December. So yeah, I've been gone for a good bit, and I kind of want to just be like, hey, I'm gonna be trying to come back and be more consistent with live streaming and doing things other than shorts. What's the dog's name? This is Scooby. His name's Scooby. Why are you sitting like that? He's very precious, and he actually turns 4 tomorrow. What breed is your dog? Oh, he is a Beagle mix. So he's like Beagle, Shetland, Poodle. He has a lot of like mixes though. He's like part Chow, part German Shepherd. I'm like scrolling through some of the live streams I did do before I kind of stopped for a little bit. And y'all, what are my faces in some of these? Like, what? I love it. I think this one is with Zach, yeah. One of my friends. Cooking with my Pookie, that was with Jade. But yeah, so happy early birthday. I know he turns 4 tomorrow. You're getting old. Scooby, are you aware that you're old? He doesn't care. He said, I'm baby. When did I get him? I was 18, so like 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago in May. There he is. But yeah, I'm like just kind of scrolling through, and I'm seeing I really didn't live stream a lot last semester either. There was a lot going on. For those of you who are returning viewers, like, I know, like, I'm really bad sometimes with being consistent, but I feel like I've just been extremely bad about like live streaming and stuff this year. There was a lot going on in my social life, and like just a lot going on that was like very mentally straining. So I'm hoping it to be back now. Because I do love like live streaming, interacting like this. I love making videos. I genuinely do love it. Of course, it is hard to do a long form video when you're in college and having to edit. But you know what? I'm about to graduate and I'll have a big break before I do go to vet school if my plan that I currently have is still a go. That's another thing. I did get into vet school. I did post that. It's not my most popular short, fair enough, but I did get into vet school. It is a school out in the Caribbean, and it well, okay, I don't know yet if I'm going. It is very expensive, so we need to have me work the like as soon as I'm working right now, and then when I graduate, I'm going to be working as many hours as possible. And we also moved my start time. If I do go, I won't start until January. So that gives me plenty of time to work and have like enough money for it, be ready for it. But that would be a huge change, me being in basically a whole other country, and hopefully I'll be able to share that journey with you guys. But yeah, I know I've been really bad about videos. I mean, before the Friendsgiving video, the last thing that I had posted was December of like 2024. So I know. I want to get more consistent about it. I want to get back into gaming. I used to do gaming a lot. I want to finish Poppy's Playtime. I literally have not touched that game in over a year. I don't think you guys realize, like, when you don't see a game on here, like, if we're playing a game with a whole storyline on my channel, I'm hardly touching the game when I'm not filming, unless I have another save file. Like in the Game to the Rescue, I do have a separate save file, but I started to get annoyed with all the storyline because it takes so long to get through the first part. Like, I have played some Five Nights at Freddy's. That's the exception. But I feel like that's not the end of the world if I like keep playing it. I haven't touched the game Kindergarten in a while, and I know that was one of the first games that I was playing. It's not the first game. I think the first game was Halo Infinite. I would love to play more Halo Infinite. It's been a while. Like, I want to get back into games. I know a lot of my stuff revolves around food right now, and I do love cooking. I love doing the taste test, but I feel like the games were always more enjoyable to film, or I could live stream them, which is another plus. So then I don't have to worry about all the editing because I don't have an editor or anything like that. And that's what really kills me is having to sit down and make the time to edit. It's very hard for me to just sit down and have the time to do that. Hi? You guys see that?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, nope. Okay, sorry. I accidentally clicked one of my old videos. Because I'm scrolling through and I'm just like looking. Hi, yeah. Want to say hi to the people? He doesn't like when I touch his balls. I got your paws. I got your tootsies. I got your tootsies. I got your tipsies. I gotta like sit up. I've also lost a considerable amount of weight, which these camera angles are not helping, but I went from like 160 in June. I'm 138 right now. Pounds, for anyone who doesn't use pounds. Which, hi. Which is a lot. That's like a little over 20 pounds down, which is pretty good. I'm pretty lucky. I have a dog, so walking him helps a lot with that. Can you sit up? Come here. Ooh. Oh, yes, I know. I touched your armpit. You don't like when I touch your armpit. He doesn't like his armpits being touched. I'm in your armpit. But yeah, just some quick updates. I'm like scrolling through my videos. Yeah, I feel like it's also more fun to make videos with friends. And like I said, there was just a lot going on in my social life. Like I'm not friends anymore with a lot of people, but I'm also doing a lot better now that I'm not friends with them. I've been able to actually go out and enjoy just being on my own, which is really nice. So that's good. Man, I really fell off on making videos after Joshua left, I feel like. Yeah. That was sad. He was a good guy. For those of you who don't remember Joshua, that's my ex-boyfriend, but he, will you stop licking me? You licking my blanket. But, he kind of got, like, moved to Korea for his job. So, I mean, it's all good. My Google account is over. I don't know what that means. I'll fix it later. Anyway. But yeah, I know I've been really bad about getting videos out. I'm scrolling through, and I was like, yeah, I'm really good at getting like shorts out, but actual videos, live streams I've been having a really hard time with. And you know, like, again, part of that's just because of my mental health. Does the dog protect you? Actually, yes. He will hear people walking up the stairs and he will start growling and like getting ready unless he can hear a voice. Normally, if it's my friends, they're walking up here and they're all talking together because it's normally not just one friend. Or they're like, oh my god, Scooby, before they even like knock. But when he hears footsteps and there's no voices, he freaks out, like growling, like getting protective, going to the door. Like, he's a small dog. He's only like 20 something pounds, but he's very, very protective when it comes to stuff like that. I also think that I might have accidentally trained him for that, because if I hear footsteps outside, I've gotten kind of paranoid. Like I mentioned, there was some stuff going on in my social life, but some of the people made me extremely paranoid because they've come to my apartment. I don't live on campus, and they've gone into my car. And it's like, they're like, oh, we were returning a jacket. And it's like, you did not need to literally break into my car to do that. Yes, hi. And, stop looking at yourself on stream. But yeah, so it was like really creepy. And ever since then, like, I'll hear footsteps coming up the stairs and I'll like freak out. Or I'll come back home and my apartment door will be like open. And I will walk in because my kitchen, you can see it straight from the door. The first thing I do is grab like a knife from the kitchen and I go like walk around the entire apartment. And it's actually just my door being messed up if like I forget to lock it or something, but it freaks me out to no end. Have a random person knocked at your door? Did he attack? I've never had a full-on like random person. I have had a neighbor that I didn't really know knock on my door, but it's because they got a package of mine. So I don't count that as like random. I have had people kind of be unwanted, like not really at my apartment, but like just on property. Like I mentioned, those people going into my car, even though they're like, oh, we were just returning your jacket to you. Like, no, that's really creepy. You didn't tell me that you were gonna be here. You went into my car, which is my own private property. I live off campus, and you would have had to come before like 8 a.m. because that's when I went down to my car. So it was very creepy. I have had some people also, like, I'm still kind of friends with this person, but like I just needed distance. They freaked me out. They would be at my apartment just a little bit too much for comfort, and like I'm not the best at setting boundaries with that, but there were like some times where it's like, no, you're very clearly overstepping a line. And it just wasn't okay. No. It's like I'm still kind of friends with that person because it's like, I don't know. Like I feel bad for them. I don't know if they really knew that these things were boundaries, but they kind of still did things that crossed boundaries that I've told them, you know? And no, you're good. You can ask as many questions as you want. Boop. But like I would tell them to like not do things or not like talk about me to people, and then they still would. And I don't know. I care about that person, but they overstepped some lines. So I have had many times where I actually do get kind of like paranoid inside my apartment. I've had one person say that they would be here like to look out for me, make sure I was all good, and I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. Like, I'm more paranoid with you here. Like, I need you to leave. And that person didn't get that for a bit, but eventually they did get it. And I feel really bad about that. It's not really their fault that I get paranoid with them here. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. I've just been having like paranoia. I'm looking, so YouTube now has this inspiration page, and I guess it kind of it takes like it looks at stuff from your oh, that's weird. It takes stuff from your channel and it makes suggestions for future videos, and it's like taste testing every weird exotic fruit at the local Asian grocery market today. First off, I don't have a local Asian grocery market, but I would love that. Weirdest milkshake combinations that viewers suggested I taste. Then there's visiting Carolina Beach and discussing how my third relationship changed me. That would probably be about Joshua then. What's the dog's breed? He's mostly beagle. He's a mix. I'm like looking through these like weird. Have you guys seen the inspirations tab? Here, I'll show you. This is if anyone's not a creator. This is what I'm seeing. It's like all this AI generated stuff, and I like some of these aren't bad. Some of these are things I would do, but it's just so ugh. Like I've been wanting to do something kind of like this, like kind of what my daily routine is. But I don't have time to film it. I literally, if I did that, it would have to be a recreation of my day, which I don't mind doing. It just, I would literally tell you it's a recreation though, because I'm not about to try and be like, oh, this is my day, and then just like, whatever. But I mean, there are some days where I wake up, I eat, I walk Scooby, I go to class, I go to the rehab center, I go back to class, I go to work, which is at a vet's office. I come back, I walk Scooby before I go to work, and then I come back, and then I walk Scooby again, because he needs at least 3 walks. Yes, you do. You need at least 3 walks a day. At least. At the very least. And then I might go out with friends, or like this weekend, I'm going to go see Scream, the 7th one coming out on Friday. But before that, it's like I wake up, I eat, I walk Scooby, I go to class, I go to the rehab center, the wildlife rehab center, I go to class again, and then I go to work, and that's at the vet's office. And at some point, I try to eat lunch, which sometimes I don't. Not a good thing. Don't skip a meal. I eat. I switched from only eating lunch and dinner to having a breakfast and then sometimes skipping lunch, because I used to not eat breakfast, and Joshua helped me like kind of get myself to eat breakfast again. It used to make me really sick to do actually, but now I don't really eat lunch because I have breakfast. I'm not used to doing that. Hi. But like some of these inspiration ideas, college prom dress stress and answering messy questions about my third relationship, it wasn't messy. I hate how it keeps saying that. Teaching my non-pet friends how to properly groom a high-maintenance dog. Ooh, Scooby is so high maintenance. You gotta de-shed him every like week basically, because he's very sheddy. You gotta do his anal glands really often. You gotta clip his nails, but you have to hold him like a baby while you do it, or else he'll freak out. Yeah, you will. But what do I do on other days? Other days, like today is Tuesday. I was at the rehab center from, okay, well actually not 8 a.m. because they didn't have the 8 a.m. shift due to snow, but I was there from as early as possible to like 2, and then I came back here, and then I went back again at 5 to do a training with Nelson the Crow. And I was training a student on him. Then tomorrow I wake up, I go to the center to do part of my training with Ivy, then I go to class, then I go back to train with Ivy again, she's the possum that I work with, and then I go back to class, and then I have lab, and then I get off of lab, and then I have to feed Nelson, and I'm always at the rehab center. I'm there like 10 times a week with all my ambassadors and shift. Oh, he needs scratches on the back of the head. Like, I would love to show people. Like, I would love to, like, film my schedule. Like, at some point in the rest of the semester, film my schedule on, like, a different day. Because it's different every single day. My schedule is different. There's no, like, consistency. Thursdays, I have no class. I don't go to school. I don't go to campus at all unless I have to or if I'm seeing my friends. And I just work in the morning. So, yeah. And then my schedule's gonna get crazier when I get in vet school. Yeah, it will, Scooby. It's blocking the camera. Come here. Let me hold you. I'm gonna pick you up. And then, I'm going to Fort Lauderdale for spring break. I know. I'm gonna leave you for a week. But you'll be with one of my friends. One of my friends is gonna come stay here and watch him for me. So I don't have to bring him home and all that. Yeah. Scooby. Oh. Ow. 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 That is my body. Hi. He's such a boy. But yeah, I kind of wanted to like ramble and give some updates and just kind of talk about like what's gonna be happening. I'm definitely gonna try and live stream more. I might bring back, you know, like if I go to the store, just like live streaming while I'm doing that. Because I know a weird amount of people actually kind of liked that. Because I would do that and then I would go to Starbucks and I would like do whatever. Kind of like, what's it called? What they used to call it? Vlogging. Kind of like vlogging. I should vlog. I actually feel like people might enjoy that being a pre-vet student. I could do like mini vlogs. They would probably be shorts. I don't know. Maybe full length, it could be like a vlog for the week. Actually, yeah. You know what? Would you guys enjoy that? Would you guys enjoy like a weekly vlog maybe that shows like what I'm doing as a pre-vet student? I could probably start that like today, I guess. What's today? Tuesday? I guess I could start that like tomorrow and just do like a half week vlog, see how it does, see how you guys like it. Why are you sitting like that? Ooh, reset your brain, reset. Reset, reset, reset. Boop, 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 boop. The little leg. But, no, that could be fun, doing like a weekly vlog. Show you guys stuff at the center, a bit more. Of course, I don't want to post a whole lot about the center on my main channel because I do have a channel specifically for that Red's Animal Experience. And that's like a kind of a more professional channel in terms of like showing animals and stuff, but I could like do little bits of the rehab center if I did a vlog. Of course, like not staying there filming the whole time because I'm teaching students, I'm helping other mentors, I'm working with staff, I'm working with vets, I'm working with like people from the school. So I can't just show all that, but I can be like, oh, look at this cool little patient we got. So that could be fun. But yeah, okay, we'll try a weekly vlog. That could actually help me get back into filming a little bit and give us a bit of consistency on my channel. Maybe it might turn into every other week just as I get a little bit busy, or I might skip a week and do like a little short vlog, kind of like a YouTube short. But yeah, okay, we're gonna try that. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try the weekly vlog. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see if it's like fun. If I'm able to maintain it. And yeah, that could be a fun new thing. All right. Well, I gotta go because I need to finish watching this Scream movie because I am a bit behind from where I need to be for the movies this Friday. But yeah, bye guys. I have to like, I can't just like end the video when I do that because I have to like hit more buttons. It's very awkward. Say bye, Scooby.